Looking so good. Looking so good all across the screen. And then transitioning from jumping jacks to alternating hand toe taps, getting your leg up nice and high. Keeping it going. Welcome, welcome. If you just joined us, happy September. We're just getting started with our warm-up. This is Weekend Warrior Hip Mix with Amanda. Let's do one more on each leg. And then we're going to transition into the nice hip opener, over to a side lunge. Chin and chest stays nice and lifted as you come into your side lunge. Bringing that leg up and over to the opposite side. Let's do one more on each leg. And then coming down to a low, wide squat. Reach the arms out by your side. Reach down, tap the opposite inside ankle. Chin and chest stays nice and lifted. Let's do one more on each side. And then staying nice and low in your squat. Reach the arms forward in a windmill motion. Warming up your shoulders. And then just reverse that direction, opening up your chest. Chin and chest stays nice and lifted. Staying nice and low in that squat. Slightly hinge forward at the waist. And then giving yourself a nice big hug. And then squeezing your shoulder blades as you open up the arms. A few more here. And then coming down to a low runner's lunge, left leg forward, pressing into your left knee, not letting your left knee pass your toes, opening up your right hip. And then straighten that left leg, maybe point, flex your left toes. One more time, press the left knee forward. And then straighten the left leg, pulling it back, maybe point, flex the left toes. And then just quickly switching sides. Stepping a big foot forward with your right foot, not letting your right knee pass your toes. And then straighten the right leg, point, flex the right toes. Press it forward one more time. Opening up the left hip. And then straighten the right leg. And then point, flex those right toes. And then coming to a standing position, we're going to do alternating reverse lunges with a hop and a low squat in between. This is the first move of our first set. Alternating reverse lunges and a nice low wide squat in between. You can always take out that hop and just step. Chin and chest stays nice and lifted. Very nice. I see a lot of hops all across the screen, keeping it going. 10 seconds left. Alternating reverse lunge hops with a nice low squat in the middle for 2. Last one. Grabbing a single weight in front of you. We have a single arm burpee to a single arm snatch, alternating the arms. Coming down, hopping or stepping, and then bringing the weight up towards the ceiling. And then just switching sides. Single arm burpee. Weight up, weight down. Just moving here with your breath. You can step or hop when you come out from that burpee. Keeping it moving. Stepping or hopping the feet in the burpee. Last 10. Going strong for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Grabbing both of your weights. Single weight on each shoulder. Staying nice and low in your squat, as low as you can. And alternating side steps. Alternating right and left. Chin and chest stays nice and lifted. Not lifting your bum as you step the leg out. Core stays nice and engaged. 45 seconds each move. We're gonna do everything 3 times. 20 seconds to go, with or without your weights at your shoulders. Everything can always be done with just your body weight, looking so strong all across the screen. Keep it going for 7. Last 3, 2, and 1. Set one of your weights aside, placing one weight to the inside of your left leg. Right leg extends nice and long. We have our single arm row and our lateral lunge to a hop and switch. Rowing the arm up high, squeezing your shoulder blade as you alternate the lateral lunges. Core stays nice and engaged. Keeping it going. Of course, you can take out that hop and just step from side to side, or add in that hop whenever you are ready. Keep it going. Last 10, just like this, moving with your breath. Alternating lateral lunge hop with a single arm row. Last 1, setting the weight to the side, right back to the top. Alternating reverse lunge with a hop in the middle. Join me when you're ready. Lateral lunge hop, alternating with a nice wide squat in between. Chin and chest stays nice and lifted. Always an option. So take out that hop. Very nice. Great focus on this Friday afternoon. Last 20. Keeping it going. Maybe squatting lower. Maybe you gently tap your knee to the floor. Last 10. Going strong for 3. Last 2 and 1. Grab that weight if you use one, place it to the top. Single arm burpee to single arm snatch, alternating the arms. Join me when you're ready. Stepping or hopping the feet. If you're stepping the feet back, just please make sure you're alternating the feet that go forwards and backwards first. Timer still going. Single arm burpee, single arm snatch. You got this. Last 10, looking so strong. This is round 2 of 3. Last 1. Grabbing both of your weights. Place the weights on your shoulders. Nice low wide squat. Alternating, stepping the legs out. Staying nice and low. Chin and chest lifted. Core is engaged. Drawing your navel in towards your spine. Keep it going. Very nice, great focus. Maybe sitting an inch lower. Really feeling that burn. 20 seconds on the clock. Keep it going. Chin and chest lifted. Last 10. You got this, with or without those weights on your shoulders for 3. Last 2 and 1. Set one weight aside. Place one weight to the inside of your right foot. Left leg extends nice and long. We have a row. Alternate lunge hop. Join me when you're ready. Timer has begun. Keep it going. Keeping that elbow nice and close to your side as you lift your elbow up towards the ceiling. Keep it going. Almost there. You got this. Finishing round 2 stronger than when you started. Last 10. Alternating single arm row to a lateral lunge hop for 3, 2, and 1. set it aside, right back to the top. No weights, alternating lateral lunge hop with a squat in the middle. Nice, low, wide squat. You can always take out that hop and just step. Maybe you tap your back knee gently onto the floor. Very nice, great focus all across the screen, looking so strong, working so hard. This is round 3 of 3. Going strong for last 10. Give it all you got, power through. Last 5, 2, and 1. Whew. Grab your weight, place it at the top, single arm burpee to a single arm snatch. Join me when you're ready. Stepping or hopping. You got this. Single arm burpee to single arm snatch. Maybe adding that hop this round. Last time doing this. Last 7, 2, and 1. Grabbing both your weights, placing them on your shoulders, coming to a nice low wide squat. Chin, chest lifted. Tap it out, alternating right and left. Weights just resting gently on your shoulders. Core is engaged. Maybe sitting an inch lower. Keep it going. Almost there, catching your breath. Keep it going, alternating, stepping side to side. Maybe sitting a little bit lower, maybe an inch or 2. Last 10. Challenge yourself. Alternating side tap, staying low in that squat for 3. Last 2 and 1. Set one weight down, set one weight to the inside of your left leg. Soft bend your left knee, extend your right leg long. Roll up with your right hand, switch. Roll up with your left. Alternating lateral lunge hops with an alternating single arm row. Keeping it going. Core stays nice and engaged. Almost there. Powering through. You have a nice breather after this. Keep it going. Lateral lunge hop, single arm row. Going strong for the last 10. Keep it going. Maybe picking up the pace. Maybe extending your opposite leg a little bit longer, a little bit further. Last one. Set the weights aside. Catch your breath. Grab some water. Breather coming up. You still got 20 seconds. Still got 20 seconds. Catch your breath. From here, grab your weights when you're ready. Your hip width apart parallel, soft at your knees, slight hinge forward. We have a row to a fly. Round 2 has begun. Join me when you're ready. Alternating reverse fly to a row. Elbows stay close to your sides as you come into the row, and then squeezing your shoulder blades open with the fly. Very nice, looking so strong. Keep it going. Alternating reverse fly to a row. Last 10 here. Going strong for last 3, 2, and 1. Still with the weights. One in each hand. We're coming to a single leg deadlift, left leg forward, right leg back, single leg deadlift. Just gliding the weight down the front of your left shin. Option to keep that back right foot onto the mat, or you can extend that leg straight if you keep your hips completely parallel. So we're not opening up our hips, turning to the side. Keep everything facing down towards the mat. Imagine that your hips are headlights and you want to keep them aiming towards the mat. With the back, right leg lift, or you can also keep that right leg down, keeping a soft bend in both your knees, hinging at your hips. Nice neutral spine for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Finish up where you're at. Shake it out, switch sides. Left foot forward, right leg back, single leg deadlift. Join me when you're ready. Gliding down the front of your right shin. Back left foot can stay planted into the ground, or you can also lift that leg up, squeezing your glute, keeping a nice soft bend in your front right leg. Hips stay parallel to the mat below you. Shoulders relaxed, not scrunched up by your ears. Keep it going. Hips stay facing down towards the mat for 10. Last 7. Going strong for 3, 2, and finishing up where you're at. Setting the weights to the side with your feet slightly wider than your hips. Hands at heart center. We're going to come down and tapping same elbow to same knee for an oblique twist. Alternating sides. So be nice and low in that squat. Keeping it going. Working those obliques. Still going, still moving. Maybe you tap your elbow to your knee. Maybe it just comes so close you can feel it. Keep it going. Last 10. Finishing up round 1. So strong for 3. Last 2. And 1. Finishing up where you're at. Grab your weights. 1 in each hand. Soft bend the knees, feet are hip width apart parallel. Row to reverse fly. Slight hinge forward. Nice soft bend in your knees. Don't lock out your knees. Row to reverse fly. Keeping it going. This is round 2 of 3. Still going. Almost there. Reverse fly to a row. Last 10, just like this. Core engaged for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out with your left foot forward, right foot back, soft bend in your left knee. Follow your right foot planted into the mat. Single leg deadlift. Option 1, keeping that back right foot planted into the ground. Option 2, you can lift that back right leg up with a controlled movement of your hips. Shoulders relaxed. Just gliding that weight down the front of your shin. Slow it down as much as you need to. If you lose your balance, totally okay. Just reset yourself. Hinging at your waist, neck and neutral spine. Just gazing a few feet in front of your front left toes for 3. Last 2 and 1. Shake it out. Place the right foot forward, left foot back. Follow your left foot into the floor. Single leg deadlift. Gliding your weights down the front of your right shin. Keep it going. Option to keep your back left leg pressed into the ground. You can also lift the leg up as you hinge forward. in a controlled fashion. Weights are just gliding down the front of your right shin. Soften your front right knees. Don't lock out of your knees. Keep it going. Lifting that back left leg up, or you can keep that back left leg, ball of your foot planted into the ground. Last 2 and 1. Put one weight down with one weight in your hands. Feet are slightly wider than your hips, coming down, crunching. So same thing, we're adding a weight for round 2. And you guess it, we'll add 2 weights for round 3. Squatting nice and low. Same elbow to same knee. Crunching, using those obliques. Keep it going. Core stays nice and engaged. 20 seconds on the clock. Still going. Still moving. Last 10. Going strong for 7. Last 3, 2, and 1. Grab up that second weight. If you had one, resting down. Feet hip width apart, parallel softly. Your knees slight hinge forward. Alternating row to reverse fly. Palms stay facing towards one another. Keep it going. Still going. Reverse fly to a row, alternating. Last time doing this. Great focus all across the screen, looking so strong. Working so hard. It's Friday afternoon before a long weekend. Last 10. Going strong for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. So with both of your weights, set up for a single leg deadlift. Right foot forward, left leg back. Single leg deadlift. With or without the ball of your left back leg staying pressed into the ground. Always an option to lift that leg as you extend your body down towards the top of your mat. Single leg deadlift, shoulders relaxed, not scrunched up by your ears. Soft bend remains in your front left knee. Keep it going. Last 10. Hips stay parallel, facing down towards the mat below you for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Whew, shake it out. Switching sides, left foot forward, right leg back. Ball of your back right foot pressed into the floor. Gliding the weight down the front of your left shin. Going to the depth that works for you. Shoulders are relaxed. Hips stay parallel to the ground below you, whether you're keeping a ball of your back right foot into the ground or you're lifting that leg up in a moving single leg deadlift. Hinging at the waist. Going to the depth that works for you, whether you're lifting your leg or you're keeping it planted into the ground. 7 seconds to go. Keep it moving. You got this for 3. Last 2 and 1. Shake it out. Keep both of those weights with you. 3 times a charm. Feet are slightly wider than your hips. Coming down a low squat and then bringing your same elbow to your same knee. Around the world, low crunches. Weights stay together. 30 seconds on the clock, and then you have your breather. Keep it going. Maybe stay a little bit lower. Always try to challenge yourself. Doing more than the time before. Keep it going. Core stays nice and engaged. Sitting lower in that squat, driving that knee up higher. Driving your elbow down further for 5. Last 3, 2, and one. Set the weights down. Shake it out, catch a breath, grab a sip of water. Nice breather coming up. Still got 20 seconds, don't worry. We're gonna come down onto the floor, coming to a tabletop position, wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Tuck your toes, bringing your knees and your shins to a hover. From here in a bear crawl position, coming up to a piked up down dog, back to a bear crawl. So we're just moving from a knee hovering tabletop position, bear crawl, to a piked up down dog. Not resting your knees. If you can hold it in your bear crawl, just moving here with your breath. Your feet and your hands stay planted in the exact same spot. Bear crawl to a piked up down dog. Last 7. Going strong for 3. Last 2 and 1. Gently rest your knees down. Flip it on over to your back side. Grabbing one of your weights. Just this way. Laying all the way down. Knees are a tabletop position. Knees over your hips. We're going to place the weight in your right hand. Extend your right leg long. Bring it back in. Bring your right arm to the outside of your left leg. So single leg bicycle. And then your same arm, your right leg, right arm is working. And bringing the arm over to the opposite outside knee. Left knee stays completely still. Left knee is over your left hip or further away from your body. Core stays engaged, belly button pulled into your spine. Keeping it going. Right leg extends. Bring it back to a tabletop. Right arm reaches to the outside of the left leg and comes back to center. Just rest your head down, keeping your legs to a tabletop. Place the weight in your left hand. Now we're gonna work the left arm and your left leg. Right leg stays completely still. Extend your left leg long. Bring it back to a tabletop. Left arm reaches to the outside of the right leg. Comes back to center. Left leg extends back to a tabletop. Left arm reaches to the outside of your right leg. So working the left leg and left arm. Right leg, right arm stays completely still. You can keep that right arm hovering. You can rest it down the mat. You can bring your right hand behind your head. Keeping space between your neck and your chin. Last 7, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Grab your second weight. Place the weight on each of your hips. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Flexing your feet, heels press into the mat, toes are lifted, glute bridge, raise and lower. You're barely tapping your seat back down onto the floor before you're lifting up again, squeezing your glutes the whole time, pressing the weights in towards your hips, pulling them nice and tight so they don't roll down onto your face. Keep it going. Squeeze to lift, squeeze to lower. Toes up towards the ceiling, heels pressed into the ground. Keep it going. Last 10, just like this. Core stays engaged for 3. Last 2 and 1. Set the weights aside, back to the top. Coming to our tabletop position, wrists are under your shoulders, knees under your hips, tuck your toes, bringing your knees to a hover in our bear crawl position. Pike your hips up to a down dog and then back to bear crawl. So you're bending and extending your knees. Your palms and the ball of your feet are pressed into the mat, not moving. Imagine they're glued into place. Knees bend for the bear crawl, knees extend for our piked up down dog. Core stays nice and engaged. Keep it going. Moving with your breath. 10 seconds to go. Then we get to lay on our back for the next 3 moves for round 2. Finishing up where you're at, laying onto your back. Knees are bent at 90, knees over your hips. Grab a weight into your right hand. Left leg stays nice and bent. Extend your right leg. Bring it back to bending. Right arm reaches the outside of the left leg. Back to center. Extending and bending your right leg as you bring it back to a tabletop position. Reaching your right arm to the outside of your left leg. Keep it going. Your left arm can just stay hovering. You can also rest it onto the ground. You can bring it behind your head, just working the right side. Right leg bends and extends, right arm reaches, comes back to starting position. Just placing the weight in your left hand, resting your head down if you had it lifted. Now working just the left leg, left arm, left leg extends, bends, left arm reaches to the outside of the right leg and comes back to center. Keep it going. Right leg, right arm are completely still, not moving. Keep it going. Left leg extends and then bends. Left arm reaches to the outside of the right leg, comes back to starting position. You can have your right arm hovering. It can be laying flat on the ground. You can also have your hand behind your head. Your neck can be flat on the ground, or you can have your chin lifted, gazing up towards the ceiling. Imagining that clementine under your chin. For 3, last 2, and 1. Grabbing your second weight. Feet are wider than your hips. Toes are slightly turned out, coming up onto your tippy toes. Weights are on your hips. From here, we're just lowering and raising. Squeezing your glutes. Placing your weight on your hips, just holding it there. Add a little bit of resistance to press down onto your weights. Keep it going. Stay on your tippy toes. Feet are wider than your hips. Just working a different part of the glutes here. Nice high tippy toes. Keep it going. Barely grazing your bum on the floor before you lift it back up again. Squeezing your seat the whole time, not just at the top, the whole entire time. Gaze is up towards the ceiling. Staying on your tippy toes. And setting the weights aside. 45 seconds go by fast. Right back to the top. Third final round, tabletop position. Hovering the knees to a bear crawl. Hike up to a down dog. Knees are hovering. So just bending and extending your knees. Core stays nice and engaged. You can slow it down as much as you need to. You can also speed it up as much as you like to. This is our third and final round. Keep it going. Knees hovering from a tabletop and a bear crawl position to straightening the knees, piking the hips up to a piked up down dog. Last 10, just like this. Then a good way to think about it, we get to lay on our back for the last 3 moves, rounding out round 3 for 2. Last one, gently release the knees down. Come and lay on your back. Knees bent at 90, knees are over your hips, weight in your right hand. Extend your right leg, bend your right leg. Bring the right arm to the outside of the left leg. Extend, bend. Reaching diagonally across the outside, opposite knee. Working your right leg, right side. Core stays nice and engaged. Lower back pressed into the mat. Maybe challenging yourself. You haven't done so already by hovering that left leg long. Imagine reaching your left fingertips to the outside of your left ankle. Lower back stays pressed into the mat. Core is engaged for 10. Keep it going. Just bending and extending that right leg. Last 2 and 1. Both knees stay bent to the tabletop. Knees are over your hips or further away from your chest. Weight in your left hand. Now working the left side. Extend and bend. Reaching over to the outside of your right leg. And keeping it going. Lower back pressed into the mat. Core is engaged. Belly button pulled into your spine. If you haven't done so already, try challenging yourself by keeping your right arms straight hovering the ground. Imagine reaching your right fingertips to the outside of your right ankle, just bending and extending your left leg to a hover, and then bringing your right knee over your hip. Keep it going for 10. Just working that left side body. Last 3, 2, and 1. Place the feet down. Legs are zipped together. Feet, knees, thighs. Place the weight on top of your hips. From here, squeezing your seat to lift your hips up super high. From here, just little squeezes. Bringing your hips as high as you can and then squeezing at the tippy top. This is where we finish. Placing the weights on your hips, holding them down, maybe keeping your elbows onto the ground and pressing your fingertips into the top of the weights. Hips lifted even higher, little pulses at the tippy top. You got this. Keeping it going. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Almost there. Legs are zipped together. Imagine you have a piece of paper between your thighs and you want to keep it there. You don't want to drop it. Still going. Little squeezes at the top for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Gently release everything down. Set the weights aside. You won't need those. We do have a 4-minute burnout. Grab some water. Get a little breather before burnout. No equipment is needed, just you, yourself, and whatever area you have you're working with. Grab a sip of water, maybe stretch it out. We have a 4-minute plank burnout. Everybody ready? All right, I see some ready faces. All right, starting from a high plank position, wrists are under your shoulders, feet are hip width apart parallel, timer has begun. The closer your feet are, the more challenging it's going to be. The wider your feet are, the more stability you have, dispersing your weight evenly. Just holding and breathing. Full minute each move. When we get halfway, we have an option to add on. Just holding and breathing. We're halfway there. Option to add an alternating leg lift. Nice straight legs as you lift the legs up, keeping the hips nice and low. Hips are parallel, so we're not piking our hips up. Keep it going. Core stays nice and engaged. Last 10, then we're gonna come into a side plank on our left arm and left leg. Last 3, 2, and 1. Coming into a left side plank. You can have your feet stacked. You can also have them staggered. You can have your left forearm or left wrist coming from a low or high side plank. You just bring your top arm up towards the ceiling, behind your head, whatever works for you. Core is nice and engaged. Feet are staggered or stacked. From here, we're halfway, adding little hip dips. So tiny lower, big raise. Lowering the hip an inch or two and then lifting several inches up. Imagine that you have a string on the top of your top right hip and someone is pulling it. 10 seconds to go. Then we're gonna switch sides. Core stays nice and engaged. Last 3, 2, and 1. Just quickly switching sides, coming on to your right hand, right forearm. Feet can be staggered or stacked. Core is engaged. Just bring your top left hand up to the ceiling. You can bring your hand behind your head. Whatever works for you. We'll add in those hip dips and lifts halfway. Just holding and breathing. Adding those little dips. Tiny lower, big raise. Imagine if somebody has that string on your top left hip and they're pulling it up to the ceiling, lifting even higher, higher than before, higher than you think you can. Keep it going, little lifts. Right wrist or right forearm planted into the ground. Core is nice and engaged for 7. We're going to come on to our forearms in 3, last 2, and 1. Coming onto your forearms in a low plank position. Hips are nice and low. No bums up in the air. We're not doing a low pike. Just breathing. Core is engaged. Halfway. Option to add alternating knee taps. Adding a little bit more heat to that core when we get halfway. Holding and breathing. Core engaged. Adding those alternating knee taps. One at a time. Gentle tap towards the floor. Please don't slam your knee into the ground. That won't be fun. Keep it going. Core stays nice and engaged. Hips are low. Last 7. Power through alternating knee taps or just holding that low plank. And then release everything down. Catching your breath. Placing your hands on your shoulders and pressing your upper body up for a nice cobra stretch. Gaze is up towards the ceiling. And then looking over your left shoulder. And then switching sides, looking over your right shoulder. And then pushing yourself up to a wide knee child's pose. Toes are touching, knees are nice and wide. Extend your fingertips nice and long away from you. Imagining that you're trying to press your armpits in towards the mat. Just moving in that direction, just holding your breath. You can have your chin, your nose, or your forehead pressed into the ground. And then walking your hands over to the right side, placing your left hand on top of your right, and then still pressing your left thumb towards your left heel and gently rotating your left shoulder down towards the floor, really enjoying that deep side stretch all along the left side body. On your next exhale, gently walking your fingertips over to the left side, placing your right hand on top of your left, pressing your right thumb towards your right heel, and then gently and slowly rotating your right shoulder down towards the mat, enjoying that nice deep stretch all along the right side body. On your next exhale, gently walking your fingertips back to the center, maybe tempting your fingers, lifting your palms, pressing your finger pads into the mat. It's a different arm and shoulder stretch. Releasing everything down and coming up to a tabletop position. Wrists under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Doing a few cat-cows with your breath. Gazing towards your navel, rounding your back for cow, arching your spine, chin and chest be lifted. Moving here with your breath. And then coming back to a neutral spine, nice flat back. Tuck your toes, bring your hands a palm print forward and pike your hips up, coming to a nice down dog position. Pedaling your heels one at a time for a nice back of the leg stretch. And then pressing both of your heels into the floor, walking your hands towards your toes and just having a generous hang. Enjoying that stretch all along the back side of your legs. Placing your right hand to the outside of your left ankle, soften your right knee. You can stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then just switching sides. Straighten your right leg, soft bend in your left leg. Left arm to the outside of your right leg. Right arm reaches up. And then releasing everything down. Maybe pedaling your knees one at a time. And then fingertips towards the mat, rolling up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Roll your shoulder blades back, roll them forward. Nice big deep breath. One more. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I am on vacation, so I'm so happy that I could still work out with all of you. I didn't want to miss out on our normal Friday workout. I appreciate each and every one of you, and my little colleagues today, my little dogs helping out. If you haven't done so already, please make sure just to add your name to the chat. I greatly appreciate all of you, and I hope to see you next week. Happy September, everybody. Have a great long weekend. Bye, everybody. Bye, Terry. Bye, Kesh. Bye. Thank you.
Enjoy your Labor Day.
You as well. Thank you. Have a great long weekend.
Thank you.